Hi, this is IK. Welcome to Material UI continuation. Okay, my first, I learned from artificial intelligence. And my question was where I can change base font of body. And I copy function up, yeah. And in Material UI, you can change the base font of the body by customize the theme. To change the base font family and other typography settings, you can follow these steps. Import this. I copy that. And create a theme what I want. Here it is. A wrap component with the theme provider. Theme provider, import, and import font what you want, where I can choose font family. I asked it about does Material UI have some open font? No, Material UI is Google design and use Google font. It means that, for example, it is Poppins when you can find Google font. You can search for Google font. Here it is. For example, I choose Montserrat. Click here and look at that font. Know all about font, and I must insert that font. Here it is. Insert npm install. And after that, I can import font source Matzera, but I stay with the Poppins blog font family because it is less characters, less letters in one row. Okay. Let's go to see what I ask other. Yes, and app.js, here it is. I must import that, create theme provided as CSS baseline from my material, and down, declare object theme, create theme function, and create typography, font family, Poppins, sans serif, and font size, and font size 18, line high, here is a 3. It is interesting that that line high don't imply, don't have effect on text inside HTML element, but spaces between between elements. And you experiment and you will see that typography, but I didn't, Montserrat, I didn't change here. Montserrat. Montserrat. And now I have import in index. It can stay here. I can have more import, never mind. But what I use, it depends about app.js here. And now Montserrat. And if I look at here, I will control changes. And now is Montserrat now. And Montserrat, if I have here Poppins. Poppins app.js. I must start again. Start. Now we see that vite is the last word in this first row. And now is Poppins. Now is family Poppins serif. But if I write Montserrat, Montserrat, it is the best copy because when you remember and try to code, always miss some letters. Montserrat. In the app Montserrat. Look at here is high letters. Same, but when I create it more times, I see that this font is not same longiness, of row, same letters in row, but font weight is a little less than in Poppins. Okay, never mind. I stay with this font family. Let's go to here, Google Font, and you find your fonts. You take care about capital letters and small letters. Here is, okay. About font family, he explained me that I must install it first. After that, import in entry point, index.js. And I can have more import, but you see, I use one of them in app.js, but I can change in every for every places in HTML document. I can change font. But we now spoke about font theme for body of font of body of component HTML document. Create custom theme. All that it is import, I copy in app.js. Here is the creation of theme. Look at, and all that I copy in where I need copy. It is app.js. And here is I use also theme beta. This is baseline, remove, prepare browser for our CSS, for our formatting. Here it is. Here is a spoke about font, and we look at Google Font, but it is interesting that font source package is it is a package of Google. Some the frequently use Google Font. It is a font source package. It means that you go in Google Font, find your font family, one more, and install it. And if a font source package don't have it, you will know, yeah. And of course, we can incorporate, install, and we can write in body directly in our index.html. We can we can code in head. We can code any Google family font. Okay, it is my confusion with the font source. The font source, it means that it is the same. Font, Google Font, no problem. Ask for Google Font and see your font. Yes, in most cases. You see, font source, font name is same as Google font name. Yes, in most cases. Installation and repeating again about how code font size. Font size, okay, we must have import typography from material typography. And here is directly in typography, we can go with the font size like this. But also font size, look at, it is a style in a line. We can also like this. And class name, create theme, font size 16. For add a new post, I use card. And I ask here, does card is only possibility to write free title, add a new post import, and copy all that. And yes, the card component is not the only way to achieve the layout you want to your add a new post section. You can certainly style your form without using card by arranging your form elements using other layout components like box or grid, provided by material UI. By box and grid, by box and grid here in the return. But look at directly in typography, we can set use variant and font. Font weight is interesting. But it is interesting we cannot use here line high. And line high, we must use like CSS, customized CSS in row. We can use only variant and properties, variant and font weight. Here it is. I copied it for, I use that for add new post and for posters. That two part of here is he write a number 16 without pixels. So, and here it is, font size 16 without pixel. And system, the value 16 represents the default base font size in pixels. It is the base font size that material user UI uses to calculate other font size, etc. Of course, it is a base font size in pixels. Look at here, 16. Font family, font size, and I can use font weight, but not line height. Look at this question. What font size is usually used for blog post? It is question for some experience, some senior developers. But now you can ask it artificial intelligence. The choice of font size for a blog post can vary depending on factors such as design, preferences, readability, and the type of content you're presenting. However, there are some general guidelines that can help you decide on suitable body text size, the typical font size, etc., etc. You ask it. You ask artificial. Goals of this my video is show you how I learn from artificial intelligence, because I don't use material UI and I am beginner like you. But I know all about CSS and HTML from scratch and HTML document, and I now ask in that it is base knowledge is important. Base knowledge is important. Base knowledge about HTML and CSS, because you cannot ask anything if you don't know HTML and CSS. Because all this, what I do now, material UI, means CSS classes. It is a library of CSS classes in that form of naming, material UI, and the result of material UI would be classes, CSS classes visible in HTML document. Line height, line spacing should be around that. Speak me about usually frequently use body text size and headings and line height, etc. How line height? Line height, also known as line spacing or leading, refers to the vertical spacing between lines of text. Paragraph is an important typographic aspect that affects readability and the overall aesthetic relative to font size, consistency, avoid, consider, testing. Here is one example, and here is a line high. It is like this, and that line high, you see it is not inside any element of any part of library or element from material UI. It is declared like text style object, and use here you see. And it is learning from artificial intelligence, teach me, and I show you how you can teach from. But yes, it is a problem. You must learn, you must, cannot shortage in knowledge. Base, you must know base. Basic knowledge about HTML, CSS, JavaScript must exist in this, what you learn. But from this position in React, we have React application. From this disposition, you know what you have not in a knowledge, and you can go down in basic knowledge, or you can go, or you can use artificial as I learned. About if you want adjust line height weight, you'll typically need to apply it to the individual components or style where you won't change the. It means I ask up cannot have individual cannot have on the body level uh, line height. Don't have effect on the text, but only on space of HTML element. It is about this, line height. Here it is. For example, you have 20. It is in APP component, and when I see now, uh, again, line high here. APP. I use line high here and cannot use them. But when I remove this, inline first, it is the near of text here, and now div, but I must write here them equal 10. Here it is. I don't need it here. I don't need that div. It is only for InStyle was. And somebody obstacle me in this experiment. Control A, Control C, artificial, copy, and I ask them have not effect. Have not effect. I ask. I said theme have not effect. I see that you're trying to set up a custom theme using Material UI. Create theme function, but it seems like you're experiencing an issue where the theme changes are not having the expected effect. It's important to note that Material UI's theming system affect the styling of Material UI components, not the styling of your own custom components, or not Material UI HTML elements. If you're using custom HTML elements like div p or h1, the Material UI theme won't apply to them directly. If your code you're using in your code, you're using the theme provider to wrap your components and apply the theme. The theme should affect the styling of Material UI components like typography, text field, button, etc., which are part of the Material UI library. If you are not seeing the expected changes in Material UI components, there could be few reasons. Check ensure that you're using your components. In your add components, these components will be affected by the theme. Overrides or custom styles. If you're using custom styles, override, I delete it. Component-specific styling, inspect styles, check theme import, cache or build issue. If you're still facing issue, you might want to provide more specific detail about which component or style are not behaving as expected, and I'd be happy to assist further. Okay, I will copy this app and I will copy add post, control copy, and I post list because here it is post list. It is two-child component of app component. Post list, enter. Okay. Look at response from your frame. I can see that you're missing material UI typography component, and you're attempting to set the line high for the text within the typography component. However, it seems like the line high is not being applied as expected. In your post Excel component, you are indeed using the typography component, attempting to adjust the line height using the inline style. Yes, right, I forget it. And let's go to post post list, post excerpt, post excerpt. Look at return. Look at. Okay, it is typography for, I must use it. It is typography for, it is not important in this what, let's back. Didn't find me. Here is post list, post list return. Here it is. What I can see that you use a material UI typography component and you're attempting to set the line high for the text within the typography component. However, it seems like the line high is not being applied as expected. In your post-text component, you are indeed using the typography component and attempting to adjust the line high using the inline style prop. However, based on the code you provided, there doesn't appear to be an issue with how you're using the typography component to set the line height. If the line height is not being applied as you expect, here a few, okay, it is only, I must, see all this, my code, and correct it. But what I experienced before was that this element, spaces between them and between this element, that spacing is because of app.js, because of this. This is because of this, but this moment, and I must analyze all my line high, what is obstacle that we see experiment, what would, on what would be affect this here, then provider, and what it is not for a text inside element, and but because HTML between spacing between HTML element. Okay, it is this is only show you how I learn from artificial intelligence, and I recommend you that you learn also from that. But again, I repeat, you can learn from artificial intelligence only if you have basic knowledge in something, because artificial intelligence function on questions. And of course, you can ask artificial intelligence that show you, for example, a topic theme about HTML, and you will see topic. And after that, you ask, show me, explain me body HTML tag, and explain me that concretely CSS, or show me all CSS, show me all HTML, etc., etc. But that basic knowledge is better learned from other sources where basic knowledge is there is a lot of possibility to learn basic knowledge about HTML and CSS and JavaScript, and you must learn from that from beginning, from start point, slowly, with patient and experiment. Okay, thank you for watching this video.